know. Sorry, guys, up there in IG world. I had to mount you guys on my light. So, unfortunately, it's kind of like looking down, and that's just kind of how it's going to be for right now. So, we are kind of like everywhere as normal. Facebook, in the groups, on YouTube, on Periscope, on Twitch. That's where we are. Welcome to the Posh Academy's platform. Right? Thank you for you guys being here. Not only just be here, let me know that you're here. Hey, Clara, Mary, Julia, Nancy, you guys are in here. Who up there? JR. Okay, so thank you, Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie, hey. Thank you guys for joining. I'm so excited. Y'all know I get super excited for Posh Late Night Biz. Lately, I've been super good with no matter what's happening. Kind of been consistent showing up here every Wednesday night, Posh Late Night Biz, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are new to the platform, moving forward, that is when you guys will be able to connect with me live, no matter which platform you guys are on. That's where we are, right? You guys are coming in tonight. So look, tonight y'all know we're talking about tiebacks pretty much, and almost anything else that you guys kind of want to talk about, right? So not only am I going to talk about tiebacks, y'all know I normally say it's hard to talk about something that's so visual. So guess what your girl did? Your girl went and put up a simple backdrop. I didn't perfect it, none of that, because we're not talking about backdrops. We're talking about tiebacks, right? So I put that up just so I can actually show you guys like different ways that you can use tiebacks. Some simple stuff that I know, with some simple stuff that y'all probably have around in your inventory, and how you can actually just make your backdrop stand out, look different. Stop using, I'm not gonna say stop using, but just be a little different. Other than those, wait a minute, can y'all hear me? God dang it. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right, cool. If y'all can hear me, give me a 1 in the comments. Hey, Patrice. Thanks for Patrice. I appreciate you, baby, on my YouTube. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate the love. I appreciate all that. Your names stick out because I see it a lot. So, and I appreciate that. And anyone else that really show the channel love, I really appreciate that. You guys don't know, simple likes, right? Simple shares, simple comments, that really helps the channel. So I just want to say I thank you guys. I thank you guys. Hey, Dee Dee. Look, Corey, that is so amazing. I'm glad you guys are joining me tonight. So you guys know tonight we're talking about tiebacks pretty much, right? And just different ways you can use tiebacks, but not only use them, but just the different styles that you can use. And yeah, no, I like to keep things pretty simple, right? I like to keep things pretty simple. So we're going to, sometimes you can use simple things that's not even, you wouldn't even thought to put it on a tieback, right? Or use it as a tieback. But these some things that even I have gained some like, oh, that's different, right? There's just that whole wow factor, just using something totally different outside the box that people they tired of saying these. And I'm not saying, you know, you're wrong if you're using them. I'm just saying, you know, people tired of saying it because it's like so standard. So we're gonna talk about all that. So one thing I want to know, you guys tell me, especially if you're new to the platform, tell me like how you found this platform, where you calling from, what you do, because believe it or not, your girl do look at the comments, especially when I'm in my live. I look at the comments and I interact with you guys, and you guys ask me questions. And if it's any question I have missed during the broadcast, I always go back and answer the question or interact with you guys. So the more interaction, the better, right? So y'all know, those that don't know, we great warn you, full blast. Those that do know, I am Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy, and I pretty much teach event professionals how to make more money by really perfecting their backdrops, and not only perfecting, but producing a premium product so people are not like haggling your prices, right? When you say you want $800, $1,000, they're like, okay, all right, what's next? You don't want to hear the, oh, but I only have, oh, but can we take off the, You want to be able to create a product that's in demand, that people want. So you don't have to experience that, right? And a lot of you guys, especially and I've kind of been off for the past week because I've been on a lot of homework. And that's not homework like writing, that's literal homework. A lot of home upgrades and things like that. So I kind of been out the loop, and my office was completely shut down. But guess what? We back up, we back rocking, baby. So any questions you guys have, just plug them in. So when it comes to you guys all the questions you've been asking me over the past, probably since the last live, because YouTube is really showing you girls some love and really getting me to meet a lot of new people like you guys. But a lot of you guys' comments are the same, right? Like you say you're tired of this basic stuff, or you have went to a reputable company, right, to get trained, but you're looking for something more. I totally get it, totally get it, totally get it. But I've been hearing it a lot lately. And I'm thinking it's because a lot of you guys, like I said, you're new to the platform. This is kind of fresh for you. And before I sell you guys on anything, y'all know I tell you, do your due diligence. Look your girl up a little bit, find out. Because you got to make sure that we mix and we are a good gel, that you can actually learn from my teaching style. Because it doesn't really, the content is cool, but if you can't retain it for whatever reason, then that's like a whole nother thing. So I just want to welcome you guys. Also, my tribe members that's here, I see you guys. Cindy, Michelle, Lorraine, I see you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to rock out and talk about tiebacks. So one thing I want to ask you guys, South Florida in the house. You've been following me for the past few months. You want to know what? Elena is so funny. Thank you for following me and supporting the channel or the group or whatever it is. Quarantine has so that's what I'm trying. I like COVID. I don't like COVID, but the experience that's what's happening is allowing people to really sometimes sit down and be quiet and really think about what it is they want to learn and focus on that. I was able to just reach so many more people because they're home. They're home and they really on YouTube and they're looking for things that they really want to learn and things like that. So kudos to you, Elaine. I'm glad you're here, sweetheart. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Nikita. Y'all ladies, I love you guys. I love you guys. Okay, so I want you guys to tell me in the comments and be honest, what is your go-to when we're talking about tiebacks? Like, sometimes you're just safe and you're like, you want to know what? I don't want to figure this out. Or, you run out of time because sometimes setup time is kind of long. What is your go-to when it comes to tiebacks? And I'm almost certain. I'm going to get this. I'm almost certain. Because why? Because it was my go-to. It was my go-to for a very long time. You slap them bad boys on and boom, it's all over. It's done. Kimberly, what can you see now? Oh, you couldn't see? You couldn't see us? Hey, Robin, I miss you. Special shout out to Robin, guys. Exactly, Robin, I'm trying to tell you, I know. So the chair ties, I use them too, but I like the chair ties. I don't like the sashes though. I don't, because you got to tie them up. And I don't like tying. Like, I don't like balloons. I just don't like it. But I do like the chair sashes, and I'm going to tell you guys why a little later. Bling Wraps, napkins. Napkins is I like the napkins though. I'm going to tell you guys why I like the napkins, but I like napkins because it gives you flexibility, right? I'm not saying nothing is wrong with these Bling Wraps. I'm not saying that because they saved me many a moons when I couldn't get out, I couldn't get in my creative juices. And I'm like, oh my God, you want to cover that thing up, like what I'm going to use. And these was my go-to for a very long time. But I was like, I'm tired of that. How can I make this thing different? And my little Inspector Gadget tail, I'm going to figure something out to make this thing look a little different, right? So if y'all see me looking up, I'm sorry, guys. I got to show IG some love too. And it just happened today to be up instead of over to the side because I'm rearranging my office and they just don't have no room on the side. So that's what's that. Table runner. See, I never use a table runner because a table runner is so super duper long. Now, if I use a table runner, clear, and trust me, it's no longer a table runner because I didn't cut that bad boy up. So I've had to have some extra, right? I've had to have some extra. What else we got? Yes, Gabby, that's where it is. That's they call tiebacks. You got it. Some of them call tiebacks, some of them call hold. They call different things, right? But you saw me talking about them before. Oh yeah, I think you told me about that. You used something different, and they was like, "Wow, come on, Gabby." She said she got a whole wetting because of some freaking tiebacks. I'm trying to tell you, people want things that are different. People want things that they don't see at everyone else's event, and sometimes you gotta just gamble with it a little bit. I know I gamble all the time. Is if they're gonna like it, they're gonna love it, or they're gonna hate it. But it gives me a better perspective of being a designer, a creative, on what's acceptable. Because I won't know unless I push the envelope. And I'm going to push the envelope. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to do some crazy stuff or some stuff. And I'm going to get the feedback like, oh, that probably wasn't a good idea. That probably wasn't a good idea, baby. Don't do that next time. So that's not, I don't do zip ties. I talk about why I don't do zip ties, and zip ties is commonly used a whole lot. So as far as gathering fabric, I'm not going to say it does not, get the job done, because it does. It does. However, if you anything like me and you see when you cut things and you got to throw it away, and this is a repeated process, you're initially going to find another process to replace that process, so you're no longer throwing money away. And all those zip ties is very inexpensive, because they are. I will find them useful for something else. I find zip ties, for me, useful for emergencies, right? You're on a job and it's just like a boo-boo. It's like a oop. Then I go to my zip ties. But as far as something like, my draping, since I do it so much, I don't use zip ties, because once you cut it, you don't have the flexibility that you would have with, like what I have on these now, like the Chanel stems. I tell you guys about that all the time. It's in my videos. The links is in my videos. The secret's out. That's not even a secret, honestly. That's like a dead giveaway, free giveaway. Kind of get away from the zip ties a little bit if you're looking to something that that's recyclable, that you can use over and over and over. I've had my I've had my Chanel stems for years. Well, I'm not going to stress it like it was a lot, but since I've been doing this for about 3 years, I've had some of the same old Chanel stems, right? Because they're recyclable. So I kind of stay away from them. I used them before you. Nikita. See what I'm saying? Everybody, that's kind of like a go-to, because you're looking for what can hold it, all that good stuff, and zip ties, zip. But then you got to clip it, and then in order for you to take it off, you got to throw it away. So that was my biggest thing, and how I no longer use them, right? I no longer use them. Napkin rings. That's a new one. I gotta see that one. Napkin rings. Now, I'm all for difference. Like, I'm all for that, right? Napkin rings, I gotta see that. Christmas, Cindy, you're gonna see some Christmas tinsel tonight. I get real creative with the tinsel stuff. The other day, I was using I think the same one I'm using for this photo. It was like a butterfly. Okay, I'm like, I'm like, girl, this works. And I could have did it a little more elaborate, but for the sake of just a photo, I was just really trying to show the butterfly. But she's like, Hey, Dana. I can't see because that light's so bright. Hey, Diva. So yeah. So they call it pipe cleaners, right? So the whole point in zip ties and how I look at it, not zip ties. Y'all got me saying zip ties. Zip ties not even in my vocabulary because I don't use them. So the whole reason for the whole tie back thing and how I look at it is when I am draping, or if I'm doing anything, I'm looking for the upsell. Pretty much, I am looking for the upsell, because the whole thing is you want to maximize your ability of profit, right? That's what you want to do. So when I'm thinking of tiebacks, I am thinking of the more elaborate kind, right? Or I'm thinking of ways that my client just can't say no. I'm like, you want to know what? And they just can't say no, because I don't know about you guys, but tiebacks is an additional element on your backdrops that you should be charging for. If any of you guys took my pricing course, y'all know if we want to go the long route, I mean, I don't do it anymore because I know my set prices, right? But if you want to do it the long route, you should be charging for everything, right? And this is not necessarily for the client, but it's really for you, because that's how you're going to be able to understand and identify with your pricing structure. You can't sit there and say, all right, I'm gonna do the basic design for whatever your basic design price. Let's just say $400 for the sake of, right? But maybe the draping part is basic, but then you got another basic design, but this sucker got a chandelier and let's just say some floral tiebacks. Like, who gonna pay for that? You're gonna pay? I'm not paying for that. Because even if it's not fresh florals where you have to come out of pocket, and if it's silk florals, you got to put it together. you got to do something. And y'all know, a minute of my time is so valuable. Yeah, that's billable. My hours and my time is billable because that's valuable to me. It's not necessarily the price and the cost and the money. It's my time. So even if you guys are not buying these items like the fresh florals, but you have to go and put a bouquet together, you trying to tell me you ain't gonna charge for that, right? Like you have to. Wait a minute. Not tonight. Nikita. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna cover a couple of the most common ones I use and ones that really make that I get the biggest and profit from income wise is definitely Bling Wraps. I use these when I'm being safe. I'm not gonna lie. Mainly if you have a customer or a client that's, this is what they want, right? This is what they want. They tell you exactly what they want, or they see something, they want you to replicate it. Okay, cool. I'm not saying those clients are, but for me to be a true creative, I don't get excited about that. To me, it's normally just, go set up, boom, be gone. There's no excitement in the setup as it would be if I have some creative control and they like this. These are my colors, run with it. When I get these are my colors, run with it kind of clients, I get to play around. Like I got a box of crayons in front of me, baby. I get to play around. I get to play with some things. And that's when I light up the most. So normally if I know I have that room for upselling or whatever the case may be, I am introducing some of the best products, right? Some of the biggest elaborate things depending upon what your client is requesting. Rarely do I get, because this is not what I attract, rarely do I get a client that want basic stuff, unless it's perimeter draping. If it's perimeter, it is what it is. That's what it is. But if it's someone I get for backdrops, no, they want the over the top, because that's what I do. So meaning they're attracted to that. So that's what they're expecting, right? They're expecting that. So I get to introduce all of this sexy stuff. The crystal curtains and the crystal chandeliers and the bouquet tiebacks and, oh boy, the premium fabric, oh, yes. And then we kind of go from there, right? So that's the whole reason. For one, because when you're going to do draping, when you're going to do backdrops, the work is the work, right? It is what it is. So if you can really maximize your profits by simply upselling or adding some different fabric, I mean, you're going to be draping the freaking crossbar. Why not do it with the best that you got, baby? And get, you don't sit there and lead with your baseline, which would be probably, for me, it would be sheer, right? I wouldn't lead with sheer because it's just not that exciting. It's like, okay, you would have to really want sheer for me to lead with that. However, if you come to me and you just want some draping, we're going to talk about something elaborate, because you guys not you guys, but that's what they ultimately came to me for, because they probably seen some stuff. So it kind of sucks when it's the opposite, and it's kind of in the beginning. I can't say that's how it is for me now, but in the beginning, when I was servicing the cheaper clients and things like that, and I was transitioning, right, to a more premium, trying to attract a more premium, and things were changing, I still was attracting that same audience because they were the ones that was my clientele, right? But then as I grew, I lost a lot of them because no, you can't get this for that. Absolutely not. So it was like a rough period, not necessarily rough, but I had to stand fast and stay true to myself. And I had to lose a lot of business. But ultimately, I was positioning myself and my business to attract the kind of clients I don't have to deal with that. Okay, it's not in your budget. Okay, cool. We good, right? We're not going to do the, can you just take off 2 pants? No, Because not only now are you haggling my services, you don't respect my work. And if it's outside of your pricing strategy, if it's outside of your pricing points, I get it. But now you are affecting my business, because if I produce the kind of work that you desire, I'm going to attract more clients like you, pretty much. So that's pretty much what that was. So you want to, if you're looking to like just add different, add more money to your backdrops, you want to use the different elements I've been talking about this month. So all month I'm going to be talking about elements, right? Last week we talked about crystal curtains, right? This week is all about tiebacks and how something as simple as tiebacks, you can add an extra $100, an extra $200 just with a tieback, right? Because it adds more value to what you are delivering. Next week we're going to talk about, I don't know, but the next 2 weeks is between chandeliers and uplights, right? These are all ways that you can take your baseline, your base backdrop, whatever it is, and add more profits to your income. So now that I don't use no particular company. For one, I have a couple of partnerships with different companies. And normally if I partner with a company, it's because I believe in their product and I use their product. So what you see here is CV Linens. That's their sequin. And this is some spandex from LA. I don't know the name of the company because that was at the time, that was my first time there, and I just was shopping, baby. I just was, oh, give me this, give me that. So I honestly don't know. I can't endorse that company. And this black is from Fabric Wholesale Direct. Excuse me. That's another company that I highly use a lot. I use them and CV Linens a lot. I love their companies. I love their customer service. I love how they position their product. I love how they take care of their people. So they're the two companies that I can honestly say for tonight, for this, which you see, which is really simple. I just threw this up here for you guys. That I highly endorse, because I use, not only do I use their product, but they're very supportive of the platform. I love what they're doing. Not only that, I love how they support their clients. So yeah, I stand behind those guys a lot. Thanks, Natasha. Tamika, I know you use pipe cleaners. You gotta use pipe cleaners. You know better. All right. So for one, we're gonna run through a couple different kinds, right? So we already talked about these. So now I'm not gonna say, like, y'all see them, the Bling Wraps, right? So you can get these pre-made, and that's what these ones are. They pre-made, and I think it's been a while, guys. I ain't used these in a while. I think these came from Event Decor. I really do think that. And I think Event Decor, because Event Decor gives you a big pocket, which I enjoyed at the time, right? Event Decor gives you a big pocket because Event Decor, they have an abundance amount of drapes. So you normally would use a lot. So the pre-made Bling Wraps came from Event Decor. And I'm not saying you can't use them. Definitely use them, especially if you're not, maybe you're just right now focusing on the draping and not comfortable enough to kind of go willy-nilly with your elements and all that. Totally get it. So you can't go wrong with Bling Wraps. One thing I want to say though, if you're using Bling Wraps, make sure it match. Just make sure it match. Don't have a backdrop all one color, or like your color scheme incorporates a lot of gold and then you use silver, right? Unless you're using other elements of silver. I'm just saying, be cohesive in everything you're delivering, because it's noticeable. It may not be noticeable to, let's say that client, right? Or let's just say people that's there, but you are being scoped out by other potential clients. And if you're trying to attract, a higher premium client, or someone that, their stuff is on point, you don't want to sit there and miss the bag by having mismatch, right? So another thing with the Bling Wraps is, no, I highly would not suggest you to cut it in half. Are you wait a minute, let me get it, because it fell. So if you're talking about cutting it in half this way, I mean, you can, but honestly, if you are talking about premium draping, I would not suggest you to do that, because it's this width and length for a reason. Because when you're doing premium draping, you're using a lot of drape, a lot. Those that have been in my class, please put up a one if we use a lot of drape. So you really want to secure your drape, and you want it to look polished, right? If you try and cut it in half, for one, my light's so bright, y'all. I'm sorry. But for one, if you just cut it in half, it's not going to give off that same effect. For real, that entire backdrop is going to swallow this because it's too small, right? And it's not going to be viewed as an element. It's just going to be like, oh, she tried to hold them together, right? So you got to kind of balance things out when you're doing your draping, right? Lorraine said, well, Lorraine's like, oh my God, it's so much. So one thing I did, right? You want to know what? I don't know. I don't think I got them from CV Linens. I don't know, guys, because it was so long. But I know if CV Linens do carry them and have them, that they have good quality. I do know that for a fact. So another thing is when I was doing like my napkin holders and all that, and I wanted everything to match. Woo, child. If you are someone that was like me and try to do all the DIY stuff, right, just to save a couple coins, give me another, or give me a 2 in the comments so I know what y'all answering to. Because I would buy so much of this stuff, guys. Oh my goodness. I had this as table runners. I had this as napkin holders. I had this as wrapped around vases. Like, oh, child. I swear, you name it, I had it, right? But I immediately stopped because I just didn't like, I don't know, I didn't like it. I know I like premium things, and I know that's not something I would have been attracted to. I was trying to get by, right? And try and make things look extravagant. And no, that wasn't the way to go. She didn't say that was me. Nancy, I'm trying to tell you, if I'm lying, I'm flying, and it looked like I'm still on the ground to me. So, thank you, ladies, for being. Give it up to the honesty in the room. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so this was me, right? Did everything like that. So even with the bling wraps, one thing I would say that I still utilize and is still, helpful, even though I don't use them, but even I still would use them like in class or something like that. If I'm doing a master class, I would take these and make bling wraps. But because we use so much fabric, I used to put the Velcro on there just like this. I used to put the Velcro on there, but I don't even do that no more because it's so much fabric. I just cut them in strips, right? And I cut them in strips long enough because we have so much fabric that is able to wrap around the entire. I'm telling you guys, sometimes our gather is that wide. Sometimes, right? Is that wide, depending on the design we're working on. And I just sit there and I wrap the entire thing and I just pin it, right? Or my students still pin it, right? Y'all still rolling with the twos. I'm glad I'm talking to somebody tonight. So that was me, right? That was, they were some hurtful times, boy. I'm trying to tell you, they were some hurtful times. So if you're using bling wraps, I'm not here to say, don't use these. I'm not here to say that, because these will be your safe haven, your go-to. You're easy to just pick up, Velcro it, boom, you're done. What I am saying though, if you kind of want to step outside of that, what everybody is doing, go to something else, right? Go to other things. Just let your creative juices really flow. First, you want to kind of get a flow of your client, right? Find out what their personality is like. Do they like over the top, or do they like calm? Do they like flowers? Do they like something as simple as butterflies? Like, you really want to incorporate, and this is, I think, one of the things where I hit it home a lot when I was doing events, and whether they were small, big, whatever it was, I always took the initiative to take conversations with my potential clients, with my clients, and incorporate pieces of them, right? And whatever, even if it was a backdrop, I would find ways to incorporate pieces of them in my work of art. And I think that is what made it more appreciative, which made it more emotional, because even though they told me what they want, I ain't work on too many segments or too many things where I didn't have creative, like, and it's in my contract, right? What you see is just like for decorative purposes only. It could look a little different, right? It could look a little different. And that's saving me, because sometimes it's just, I can't sit there and replicate something for verbatim. It's just like, no. Sometimes you just do something different on purpose because like you're just tired of doing this. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Yeah, pin it in the back. Hey, Eric, pin it in the back. So that's what, if you're using these, right? So if you're using something like, and the main thing I want to say about these, like I said, they're convenient, they're safe. You can't hardly go wrong unless, now hold on now, get this. Unless you do have some clients that don't like bling. They don't like all that. They like it real simple, real elegant, real basic. That's how they like it. And you have to respect that, right? So you want to be mindful of that. But in general, like if you're doing some tiebacks, and these are like the safest things you can use, right? Honestly. And they different companies carry these, and you want to be mindful that different companies carry different grades. So don't expect, and I'm not gonna say that, but they do. They carry different grades. So don't expect company A that's like a premium company and they got the real bling and the don't expect the same product from company B, and they got. And I'm gonna just leave it like that. I think a lot of you guys know exactly where I'm going, right? So Kimberly, the ball garland, that's so funny. So the ball garland, I keep getting this question all the time. The ball garland, we actually made, I made that. And I made it from inspiration from like the Indian culture, right? That's where it came from. And it's different things that they use, but that one right there, I was determined. Because again, y'all know my story. I be asking, where you get that from? What? I was willing to ship. When nobody trying to tell me nothing. I said, you wanna know what? Let my MacGyver tail figure this thing out. And not only am I gonna figure it out, I'm gonna create a product so other people can figure it out, and it ain't that expensive. So you can go and get it and make it yourself, right? And not only that, that alone adds an extra $100, $200 to your backdrop. Something simple, right? Simple, easy peasy. I'm trying to tell you, y'all know I like it simple. That's one of my unique selling propositions or unique value propositions is simplicity. I like things simple. I go and I figure out some stuff, or I figure out, what my pain point is, because my pain point quite naturally going to be your pain point because we in the boat together, right? I'm a draping stylist. You guys are draping stylists or aspiring draping stylists. So I find out those problems and create solutions, period. And not just solutions. I try to keep them simple. Sometimes it don't work out that way, but I always go back and try and tweak it to where that ultimately is how it ended up being. So we made that, right? We made that, and it ended up being a course. It wasn't my hottest course, like the weave backdrop. Man, they jumped all over that, but it did very, very well. So many people. It was so great seeing other people replicate the same design I had, or just like and able to do it and just execute. I'm like, man, that looked dope. I'm telling you guys, I get so excited when I see you guys. When y'all was running with that weave design, y'all was running with that like it was new, and it really wasn't. It was just things I saw, and I was like, oh, that looked dope. And I was like, oh, that looked dope. And I was like, you wanna know what? Let me put my own spin on it and see how the community liked it, and y'all loved it and ran with it. And it was like, wow. And just to see y'all do your own spin and your own colors and your own textures, that was very, very, very inspiring, because I like the fact that y'all took the concept, y'all took the tutorial, whatever it was, and you made it your own, right? You made it your own. It looked like a totally different backdrop, but I be seeing you guys now post stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's the tutorial. I could tell. I could tell, yes. Absolutely, I agree. So if you personalize, customize, and some people are against the whole customizing, personalizing. I mean, I get it. Some people think it's extra work, but y'all know me. I'm a people person. I connect off energy. I am a server, and I always want to make sure I am leaving my clients happy, right? Some days I'm more than others, but I can sleep at night knowing I gave it my all, right? I can sleep at night. as opposed to, nah, we don't do that. No, but we don't do that. No, we don't have that. No, we don't have that in stock. No, I'm the type, you won't hear we don't have that. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go get that. Oh, that's next on my to get list. So I just never want to be able to tell that story. It's always, I just always operate from a place of serving and making sure I can deliver. So yeah, I'm gonna go get it. Allie, thanks for being on. Do it yourself, Gemini. I'm telling you, Kim, I don't know what it is. And I'm just so happy that I have people in my circle that kind of understand it. Because when you are connected to the wrong people, they're like, what's happening? Why is she doing this, doing that? Baby, you gotta look, don't blame me, blame the universe. This is what they gave me. So now I gotta operate out of what they've given me. And if I don't operate from what they've given me, I'm gonna fall short. I'm gonna fall short. Not only am I gonna fall short, but everything is gonna collapse. So if something is sparing me to shift or do something else, guess what? Your girl gonna shift, pretty much. Your girl gonna shift. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. All right, say it again. Quick $90 per panel. And those crystal curtains, babe, they don't even cost that much. They like, what, $30 a pop? Something like that. But it makes your backdrop look so much more, I'm not going to say elegant, because even a plain backdrop could look elegant. But it just makes it look like it's you know, oh, I got some bling. You know, people go crazy over the bling, baby. You know how they is. They go crazy over the bling. Yeah, I'm telling you, they went crazy with the weave backdrop. That was fun. That was totally Buffy. Hey, Buffy. All right, so we got to get back to the program at hand. Okay, so the next, and which honestly to me, and I can only say this has been my experience, what has brought the biggest ROI, or you know, the biggest return on investment for Tiebacks for me was Floral Arrangements. And for me, it didn't matter. I don't know. And you guys give me some feedback, because I am not a florist. I know how to get them together and make them look cute? Absolutely. But if you get to asking me about some petunias and, excuse me. No, that's too much. That is too much. I can't do it. And I thought about taking the floral class, right? But I was like, nope, let me stay in my lane, because this is, I niche down. I super duper niche down. And I'm so comfortable in my lane because I love it. Like I could do it with my eyes closed. Like I could drape with my eyes closed. And I don't want to go through the process of having to learn a new skill and perfect it and market it. And it's too much. It's too much. But like something for some tiebacks, oh, I could do that real easily. I've even created my own, like if I'm doing, and y'all see it, but if I'm doing like silk, I created my super duper easy, super duper easy way of creating tiebacks, like full tiebacks though, with silk flowers. And it's easy. So that'll be on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow my YouTube, because that's uploading shortly. But honestly, for me, it's so easy to get a $300 increase, $400 increase for floral tieback. Some people, I mean, floral is now the backdrop itself is eye-catching. But when you pair that sucker with some florals, what? Man, and y'all know flowers are expensive. Flowers are expensive, but I don't know why some people feel, hold on. Some people feel that silk flowers is not, yeah, they y'all know how much silk flowers cost? What? Yes, they do. Cece, let me put it in here for you, sweetie. You can get, it ain't tagging you, but look for my comment, because it's right here. It is bit.ly/posh. I think that's it. I hope that's it. Oh, that's it. But it's on YouTube. So if you go to the YouTube channel, the link is in the comments. And it's an updated link, because I had the wrong link. So it's in there, and it's updated. So you can just click that link. It takes you directly to that piping drape system. Only thing I want to say is be mindful, because it does come in different sizes. It comes in the 6 to 10, just like our basic kit, and it comes in the 6 to 14 or 8 to 14. So y'all know I am not a big user of 8 feet, because that requires extra work, right? I'm not doing that. So be mindful of what you guys are ordering. I'll send you the links, but it's up to you. Like everything else in life, do your due diligence and read that description. read the description because it's different things in the different kits, right? So Cece, if that is the wrong link, then just go to the YouTube channel and put in 2.0. It'll pop right up and give you the direct link. I know, Nikisha, everybody loves to use Bling. That's why I said it's safe. You can't hardly go wrong with Bling, right? Nikita. Oh, wait a minute. Who's in it? Nikita, we got to talk. You're not adding almost 90. No, okay. So normally how I would do it, and I think you have the pricing course. If you don't have the pricing course, you should have the pricing course. So normally, something like that, it's an embellishment, right? So normally like the gold or the clear, depending on which ones you use, they about 30 to 45 bucks. And if pricing is different, if you're pricing it as a service as opposed to a rental. And I think that's where people get confused. I'm not too sure. And if y'all get confused with that, y'all let me know. But that's where a lot of people get confused. Rental pricing is kind of different from service pricing, right? Service, you got to attach that thing. You got to put that thing on. I just told y'all about the time. Like, you ain't dropping that bad boy off and saying, all right, here you go, put it together. That's your time. So it's just different. A rental is, you know, it is what it is. Get your money back in 3 rentals and bam, you know, that's how I do mine. I'm not sure how anybody else do this. But general stuff, right? Normally I just would divide it by 3. That's my rental cost, right? But certain things, you know, certain things is a little different because certain things is a little different. It's just different. If y'all trying to learn all that stuff, you need to get in the pricing course. Thank you, Deb. Florals is amazing. Florals is an easy way to just add value to, not only just value, it's an easy way to increase the profits of what you're designing, because everybody, not everybody, but almost, a lot of people love florals. Florals are very eye-catching, and florals is just take that thing up a whole nother notch. And not just floral tiebacks though, the floral arches, and some people kind of get it wrong. But and even for the most part, it really helps your backdrop stand out. It helps it, you know, you'll see the value, and you can kind of see it and know that was a lot of work, right? You just know that was a lot of work. So people got paid for it. Yeah. So, and that's kind of how I look at things. Like you're already doing the service for the backdrops, right? So anything that you can just add, whether it's a chandelier, whether it's a frame, a backdrop like this, and let's just say the same thing with a frame in the middle, they different prices, baby. They different prices. Because I gotta take that frame off. Sorry, I don't want y'all to think I nitpick for every little thing. But for the most part, kind of, sort of, the whole point is just getting compensated for what you're doing. And for the most part, I'm just so big on my time. If something takes extra time for me to do, or, you know, you got to look at, for me, if I'm using frames, I normally spray paint my frames through every use, just because I want it to be fresh. I want it to pop things. I could be doing something else with that time, right? I really could. I could be sitting here going live with you guys again. I'm just saying, nurturing my audience. So it's just, you have to sit there and understand. A lot of people get so caught up. How much I'm gonna make from this event? How much what about the pre-event? Look at most people, and I'm so OCD. I normally would start prep like as early as possible. 3 weeks, 4 weeks if I could, as early as possible. And that's where I think I failed in the beginning and cutting myself short, because I wasn't looking at all of the prep work. I had to learn that. And I had to learn that because I got frustrated. I was like, you know what? Why? I'm spending all this time. Why? And that's how I fell out. That's how I fell out of love with just too much work. Now, if I wouldn't mind like when the crew was setting it up, and then it was cool then. But when I was doing it, I'm prepping 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It got to be a better way, Jesus. It got to be a better way. And I found a better way. Exactly, LaCourt. Florals, I'm telling you, normally with backdrops, unless now I'm gonna tell you, chandeliers too. That's a big increase, because I'm not talking about the little flimsy ones. I'm talking about a show enough crystal chandelier. Now, I like the chandeliers, and is that where I'm going next? Not quite. So I'm not gonna get too far into it because we're doing a whole segment on chandeliers. But I like chandeliers because honestly, you gotta care for it though. You gotta wrap it properly, and it takes a little bit of time. But your backdrop is already up. You're just pretty much hanging it up and turning it on. Boom! But it adds so much more elegance to what you're already doing, right? And it's one of those items that people want. Why? Because it creates ambiance. It creates a mood. And that's the stuff that people kind of want. So they're the things that you got to find out. Now, different audiences want different things. Like if, maybe you got the baby shower audience and they're not really looking for that. And I totally get it. But you got to know your audience. You have to know what they want. You have to know what's going to be easy to sell to them, right? And the only way, and I'm trying to tell you, I'll be laughing because a lot of you guys say, I talk about it all the time, because I do. Because if you don't know your audience or your ideal client in such an intimate way, how are you going to sell to them? How? You gonna have somebody that want a cake and try to sell them some shoes. It don't make sense, baby. They're not gonna buy because you don't know what they ultimately want at the end of the day. Hey, Addie, Trina, absolutely. Cindy, say it again. Chandeliers is an easy $150 a pop. Easy $150 a pop. Again, like I said, all you have to do, wrap it up, curry it. You got, especially a crystal chandelier, you do have to really protect it in such a way during transport and things like that. But on the labor side, it's not a lot. It's an easy upsell, real easy. Hey, Trisha, I hope I said that right. You want to know what? I use them too, baby. I didn't even mention that tonight, but because I sold all mine. But yeah, brooches it's a jeweled, it's a jeweled thing. So yeah, I highly suggest. But one thing I want to say, and what I've seen, using brooches, you want to be sure to use the right size. Like if you have a big backdrop, you got to know where to place it. There's no sense that you shouldn't have a brooch. Sorry, y'all, that's my bell. You shouldn't have a brooch this size on something. Oh, that's on that side. Oh, I ain't gonna close it. But you shouldn't have a brooch this size on something like that, right? Like you really should be choosing the correct size brooch to match the amount of fabric that you're trying to really embellish, if that makes sense. And brooches come in different sizes. I don't know why people don't buy the jumbo, maybe because it costs a little more, maybe. But you should maybe invest in, the bigger ones. Not saying you, but just saying what I've seen a lot. They buy these little small brooches and attach them on this massive backdrop, and it's like it's unbalanced. It's unbalanced. You have to really understand, and did I talk about this shit? I'm not too sure. You have to understand placement. Like placement is everything. Not only where to place, but it's understanding your colors. We talked about colors, right? Understanding color theory, understanding the emotion that it evokes, understanding the atmosphere you're trying to create, right? And if you're using something as beautiful as a brooch, because they are beautiful, you don't want it to get lost in this big old backdrop. They like, you know how they do them little diamonds, the little engagement diamonds. Like, I ain't got my glasses, y'all, but y'all know how they do. They be like, oh, let me see that. You don't want that. So normally when you're creating something, you have embellishments on it, you want people to be able to, it's completely balanced out. They notice the draping. They notice the fabric selection. They notice your embellishments. They notice your uplighting, right? The only time you want it to be the opposite is if you're trying to direct attention to a specific area. Maybe the backdrop is the specific area is the swing cake or something like that. Then yeah, I get it, because you want to draw attention to the cake. You just want the draping to be, an addition. So you don't want the draping to overpower the cake. Okay, I get that, right? So it's like really understanding balance and understanding what the goal of your draping is, if that makes sense. Different shape backdrops. So I don't know what you mean. So okay. So while I'm waiting for you to tell me what you mean, I'm gonna try and answer it. So as far as different shape backdrops, the main shapes I work with is asymmetrical. I love clean. It's so weird doing this. I love clean because it's easy to measure. I can actually direct eyes to where I want it to go. I love canopies. That's a different shape. I love the round canopy as opposed to the square, although I love both of them. But I really, really, really love the round canopy. Shape. I love the circle. Well, not the full circle, but it's like one I'm working on now. That's like just a round top. So that looks super dope. I like that. I like almost anything that look different, right? I do. I'm not gonna lie. Train the train. So it's so funny because the tree arches, that's another level. It's super dope though, because that's what we're working on. I think it's module 6 or module 7. I can't remember. And the draping membership. So it's some work, but it's easy as opposed to doing the prep work. And I think for some that may haven't had draping training and may don't have the premium, the pleating, and know how to polish it up and all that good stuff, and know how to measure and really have asymmetrical lines and all that. Sometimes the trees is an easy way to develop a premium product, because it's but again, you have to be able to fluff them out and know how to place them and really create. It's like you're creating a shape, especially with the ones that we're using. These are, I forgot the name of the flowers, but they are gorgeous. They're long stem flowers. And dang, I forgot the name of it. But they're gorgeous, right? So it's like creating a direction on where you want their eyes to go when people look at it. So yeah, the floral trees and the tree arches, it's amazing. That's dope. That's coming, but that ain't on tonight. That ain't on tonight. Okay. Jumbo is amazing because it's noticeable. You see it. Absolutely. If it's going to disappear small, if it's too small. Cece, good question. Okay, so I haven't covered that already. So normally standard, and people, I don't know what you guys are using, because sometimes it's just entirely too high. And I get it, because if you don't know, you don't know. But standard rule of thumb is 3 feet from the ground is where your swags should be, period. So these, and even if they, like I said, I just threw them up there for the sake of this video, are basically 3 feet from the ground, right? Now I am, and anyone that's in my class has heard me say this, I am 5'9", right? So my navel is not quite 3 feet. However, a lot of my designs are so, I'm not gonna say advanced, but they are so, they do way more than just 2 swags, right? They may have 1 in the middle, it may have 5. If I don't have nothing to measure, how am I gonna make sure they're even? I use my belly button because it ain't gonna move around. No matter where I go, my belly button is always gonna be in the same spot. So, and that's close enough to 3 feet where it can trick the eyes and thinking that it's, is where it's supposed to be. So write that down if you already get it, because that's a good one. That's a lot of people get that wrong. A lot of people, they be having them way up here. I'm like, what happened? Absolutely, the brooches. Okay, so circle. Okay, so I haven't done an octagon because I don't do florals, and that's not something I would incorporate into draping to how I do it unless it's in front of a backdrop with florals attached, right? So florals is not my lane. But one thing I can say, if any of you guys that are new, are not following Newsay Decor on YouTube, you need to, because she does some amazing backdrops with florals, right? And she do draping too, amazing. So small plug, definitely follow her on YouTube, because she used the octagon, the pentagon, the hexagon, the octagon. She used all of it. She used all of it, and it looks amazing. It really looks amazing. You got it, Addie. How do you know that? Addie, how do you know that? I'm just curious. Yeah, so it's 3 feet from the ground. Oh Lord, Cindy, what you say? Yeah, I like the round canopy because, I like the round canopy because you could use the square canopy too. But I kind of fell in love with that drop ceiling, and that's something else that we've been working on, right? And I just fell in love with the look. So the whole drop ceiling with the chandelier thing, to me, is just simply elegant, simply classic. It's not a lot of work, but it's a lot of drape. Like, it's a lot of drape, but I like it, right? I like it. Natalie, if you're asking where am I, I'm in Atlanta, because I don't know. Oh, where would I? Okay, so I've gotten mine from Event Decor Direct. My jumbo brooches. I've also gotten some from Amazon, which was great quality. I don't remember the supplier, but they have them. And they're the only two I've used. Sylvia, you are late, but guess what? You can catch the replay. No. I mean, it's a personal choice. But even if it's in front of a head table, they're sitting down, right? So you don't want it to be higher above their head, because then you have all that negative space. It's just like there's nothing happening. Like, what's happening? No, you want it to drape. I am sitting in a standard size chair, so you want it to really cascade and complement the entire level of what they have going on, right? You don't want it to be too high up and it's like, oh, what's going on in now, all that space. And you don't want it to be too low, because now they're sitting in front of your design. So I'm telling you, standard rule, do what you want, because it's personalized. You can do what you want. But symmetry is for a reason. It's so the eyes can actually just obtain everything that they're looking at. If you like I said, if you have it too high, it's like a big gap. Is going to be unbalanced. And if you have it too low, a lot of your design is going to be missed, because people are sitting in front of it. You kind of want it to elegantly be right across shoulder blades and right across the top of chairs, or even if you have those the big chairs everybody using, you still throughout the openings, you still can see, because it's right across the collarbone, if that makes sense. So somebody put her thing in the chat for me, because I'm saying it, but you may not know how to spell it. So it's Nuzay Decor. Oh my God! Wait a minute, Trisha, you short?
It's 10 o'clock.
Even if you're short, still jump. I need you to jump. Get on the ladder. Make it 3 feet. But I can say, one of my students, guys, and she in here, Miss Lorraine, man, because I like trying things a little different, baby. I like trying to do a little different. So we did her backdrop, and her swags was like down low. Man, it looked really nice, right? But you have to kind of know when to use, when to use it. But it looked really, really nice. I loved it. So everyone that's asking the name, I'm gonna tell you, Kimberly just put it in the chat. Look for Kimberly's. I know you're in the class, Addie. I know. Put it up tall. All right, tell me what you mean. Because I'm going tall all the way, baby. I'm going tall, no matter if somebody under that thing or not. Tall just gives a more premium look, right? Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to give you guys nuggets. Yeah, on YouTube. There we go. So anyone that's looking, this is her name on YouTube. She does amazing florals, backdrops, amazing, right? We had her on about 3 weeks ago, something like that. Follow her channel. It's an amazing channel. Really, you'll learn a lot, right? You'll learn a lot. So this is the name. I just kept that up for a little bit, right? Follow that on YouTube. And like for backdrops and florals and things like that, amazing channel. Oh yeah. So I'm looking at Robin's comments. So Cindy, it is, I think right now it's just I'm telling you, it's a couple companies I know that's working on that. So some things just take a little bit of time, baby. By the time we get on and pop into a new normal, I bet you will be available not only here in the States, but more affordable. It definitely will be. Okay, so I'm gonna go on. Oh, you're perfect then. You're perfect. So no matter where you go, you'll always be standard for 3 feet from the ground. Absolutely, right? So if you have 5 drapes, I mean, I hardly ever use an odd number. It depends on it depends on the design I'm working on, but I hardly ever use an odd number of drapes. And the whole reason is because of placement, is because of measurement. So it's not really something I can explain on like for the time that we have allotted, but I don't use 5 drapes. So Feker, maybe you sent me a DM, and sometimes they get missed because I get like 100, maybe 200 DMs a day, honestly, between the 4 different pages I have. So I do have a team that handles my social media messages. And so I apologize if it went unseen, but you can always send me an email. So yeah, the DMs just be popping. Sometimes I try and jump in there, but it takes a lot of time to really respond to all those messages. So not only do I have a team that handles that, I also have y'all seen my little messenger bot, try and simplify things. So if y'all looking for something specific, it takes you straight to that, so you don't have to wait for an answer. So we testing some things out, right? Honestly, Eric, I don't know what you mean by really high. Honestly, even if you see backdrops that are 12 feet, 15 feet, 17 feet, 9 times out of 10, it's still coming down, right? It's still coming and cascading down. You would never see swags by someone's head. Or at least you should never see swags by someone's head, right? That's not, you know, you kind of, that's just not where it is. Unless they're sitting down. But I'm talking about, if you're talking about a ceremony, swag should never be 5 feet, 4 feet. That's entirely too high. You lost the whole design. The whole design is up top. People's eye is focused on the couple. So you want to incorporate the drapery so they can see that as well as an element to really kind of, you know, just make the scene more romantic, right? If it's all up top over their head, all they see is the bottom part. There's nothing really exciting about that, because 9 times out of 10, when, you know, people are under any kind of thing and the ceremony is happening, people are zeroed in on the ceremony. So you want your artwork to be included in whatever they're looking at, not surpass, like, oh, you know, that's, you know, but you wanted to create a balance. You wanted to create a cohesiveness where it's like just everything is kind of just mingling together and looking amazing. Wait a minute. They are 3 feet. Yeah. So 3 feet. So like I said before, the slots are 3 feet. But when you get into intricate designs, if you have things in the middle, there is no pole. So that's why I use things that are not standing. If you get in the habit of using uprights, when you got to create a swag where there is no upright, you're like, oh. And you're like, oh, is it even? Is it? Nobody got time for that. Just use the same old thing, no matter where you go. No matter where you go. Wait a minute. Yeah, so the chopper is the square canopy. And so I was pretty much talking about the square and the round, right? Both of them. So yeah, the chopper, even if it's a chopper, it still shouldn't be high. Not your swags. Your swag should not be 5 feet, 4 feet. It's entirely too high. Your design is going to be way up top, and people are going to lose it. So some of the things that I use, and I'm gonna put them up on this backdrop real fast so y'all can see. So some of the things that I use. Oh, I think Instagram. I think we lost Instagram. You know, they only let you go an hour. Sorry, IG. All right. So some of the things that I use, I'm gonna tell you guys. This is a napkin. So if I'm using a napkin, right? If I'm using a napkin, I don't cut it. I don't do anything, right? And since I'm moving, my color going to kind of go in and go out. But if I'm using a napkin, I pretty much just fold it in half. And then I fold it in half again. And I just wrap it around. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong side. I thought I was on the camera tricking me. I thought I was on this side. So yeah, but I pretty much just wrap it around just like that, right? And then I stick a pin in the back, pretty much. If I'm using these, oh, somebody mentioned these earlier. So my light is super bright. This is silver. It's like got some bling on it. If y'all can see that. So these I kind of got all colors. I got burlap, I got white, I got tan, I got all colors because I think they super dope. So these I get out the curtain now, right? I go to Ross, I go to Burlington, I go to wherever sells drapes, right? And even those you know, those specialty stores that really specialize in drapery, they have some amazing tiebacks. That's like that you're not gonna really find on everybody else's backdrop, right? Sugar, good question. So I can't explain it now because it involves a part, but if someone knows a part, could you put it up for sugar? So even if you don't have the latch, we have different, and other companies do too, different accessories where you could create and make a double crossbar. And it's so funny because I just was sent some items to do a video on that. So that is coming up on the YouTube as well. Different ways to show. Some of you guys got, you know, the old style piping drape and you want the double crossbar and think you got to upgrade your poles, and no you don't. You just gotta buy the accessory and the double crossbar and you'll be good to go. So if you're using these, they got a little clip, and that's all you do. You just clip that. Wait a minute, am I going the right way? This feels weird. So I normally just would clip it right in my little zip tie, right? Just easy peasy, easy peasy. I mean, I would take my time and make sure it's neat, but that's how I pretty much put those on. And then, y'all know about the bling wraps. If I'm using bling wraps, I just pretty much bling wrap. Then I like getting creative and using things like these. Y'all have seen these. I know I have done a video for Shop Wild Things. They got some amazing units like this. I also get them from the same stores: Ross, Burlington, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, like any stores like that that sell drape, carries them, right? Oh, Nicole, my fault. Yeah, I'm sorry. IG shuts you down after an hour, baby. She said she jumped on YouTube. Okay, all right, I answered that. Wait a minute. So, Eric, come on, napkin. That's right. Them napkins save you, boy. Them napkins save you. Yeah, so these, I like these because they're different, easy to use. You just take your little stick thing, right? Stick it through. And I'm not doing this super neat, but I'm just showing y'all how to use it. Because somebody on here don't know how. Easy peasy. But I would just definitely make sure you're just putting all of your drape through, right? Put all your drape through. And it's just different. A different embellishment, something everybody else not doing. But one thing I will tell y'all, this is silver. I would not put no silver embellishment on this because this is blush. And this is like a rose, and then that's black. Now I'm gonna use black in the back so y'all can actually see what I'm doing. So that was it. So then you can use those. And I always people get tricked out when I use these in class. So y'all know these are for drapes, right? But I like using them on my backdrops. So this is like a silver, right? All I do, pretty much just go through just like that. And I normally have a whole lot of drape on here, so, but it acts as a tassel, right? And if you have something that's color coordinated like perfectly, and then you just do it with some silver, I don't know why, but in class, a lot of people like that. It's just, I guess, because it's different, and they're like, "Oh my god, I never thought of that." Oh my goodness. Yeah, so Ross has them all the time, and I haven't gotten them in a while because I have so many. But now they got like so many different kinds, so many different styles. And I'm like, dang, I want some more. So this is the one that my daughter kind of tried to joan on me about, right? This is my butterfly. Now, this is like super bright. Now I got this from Walmart, so I got a little bit of bling on there, a little bit glitz, a little bit. And this was around Christmas time, right? So I just take it and normally have a clip on the back, but it broke off, and I just attach it right there. Like, if y'all know some of y'all have those little, what y'all call it, the fairy parties or whatever the case may be. If I have a client that's incorporating some fairy, I'm gonna have maybe some hanging butterflies. You know, I'm just gonna do that. Absolutely. Tassels, yes, tassels. So I use tassels. I use all kinds of stuff, guys, I'm telling you. And then the floral. So those that like these, I normally get, because I don't do florals a lot. So I'm normally comfortable with Michaels or something like that because their bulb is so full. I'm too nervous because I had a not good experience with, the whole AliExpress. And I don't have time to be steaming no flowers, trying to fluff them up. And I just don't. I just don't. So normally I'll go somewhere where I can physically see. Or if like now that I'm here in Atlanta, but I don't deal with these no more, I would go to the actual floral wholesale place, right? Where I can see them, touch them, feel them. So I can see the bulb is full. So if I'm doing like a synthetic, like a synthetic floral attachment, I normally have at least 6 of these. And this is just one, guys. I would have at least 6 of these. And the way I attach them and make them, that they're on the it's on my YouTube channel. You'll see it. It's uploading soon. So wait a minute. I ain't saying the Dollar Tree, and that's Kayla's store. I had got them out of Walmart, and I got so many others. I got some angel wings and some just different ones. Just y'all know, I think angel stuff was trending crazy like 2 years ago. Like everybody wanted to go on with the wind, and it was just trending. So that's when I did a lot of the angel stuff. But there are a lot of different. It's so many different tiebacks you guys can use that not only use but just really increase the value of your backdrops, right? So be mindful that even though you're using them and you're making it look spectacular, price accordingly. So I know some of you guys want to throw in bonuses, and I get it, right? But be sure that you are at a place that when it's all over, when you're paid to invoice, you feel good about it, right? Don't be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have did that. I talked about that the other day. Like if you're feeling that way, no, you did yourself a disservice, right? You did yourself a disservice. And it's so funny because I just was on a broadcast with over at Opulent Soiree, amazing broadcast, amazing group of people. And that was one of the things they talked about was the whole, don't discount your services just because you feel like you have to compete. No, you don't want to compete. Y'all know I'm going to say it with Bargain Basement Betty. No, you want to really develop yourself and establish yourself as a sought out person, a sought out professional. You don't want people to come to you because you got the best prices in town. I don't care what people say about my prices. I believe in my product. I believe in my service, and I will go without before I sit there and discount them to a rate where I feel uncomfortable, or I feel cheated, or I feel like I did myself a disservice. So I just want to tell you guys, right? Well, honestly, for 2021, one thing I want, and y'all kind of already know, one thing I want to tell you is outside draping. Outside draping is not even trending in 2021. It's trending right now. So it's funny because the trends really is dependent upon what happens moving forward, right? What happens moving forward? It could be, which I highly doubt, that we go back to normal, right? And everybody back in their venues and they got 500 people and all that. Highly doubt that. But, people going to want to be the talk of the town. So they're going to be throwing all this elaborate stuff. And they're doing it now, but just in, smaller venues and all this and all that, because they have to overcompensate for whatever that emotional setback that they're having due to what they're experiencing right now. So for what I'm seeing and what I get a lot of requests is perimeter draping, because people are getting smaller venues. And a lot of these smaller venues don't give you that over the top feel, don't give you the cathedral ceilings. And so what they want to do, they want to cover them daggone walls up. Exactly. They want to cover the walls up. Not to mention the outside draping, like outside draping as well as tints, right? So right now, even though learning technique and a skill set is important, it's not necessarily all about backdrops right now. It's about event draping, right? So you may have to cover some walls. You may have to cover a ceiling. You may have to create a tent, because right now that is the new normal. And at first, tent wasn't even in my program. It wasn't, because it's a lot of work. But I know that a lot of my audience, that's a need that they have, because that is what they're doing. That's what a lot of their clients are requesting. So I had to add it in. That even canopies, you'll see a lot of canopies now. Why? Because people are outside. That's why. So as far as that's what I see, and that's what I hear right now. Now it can change, like I said, if the new normal, whatever the dynamic shift, it could change. And people could go back to that over the top, and whereas just focused on that, elements, draping, backdrops, right? But right now, people are focused on tents. People are focused on covering up walls. People are focused on covering ceilings. People are focused on outside draping. That is where it is. I did, but it ain't in there now. But yeah, it's in there. So it's just so, man, it's so much that it's a lot that's being done right now. So yeah, tent draping is in there. Outside draping is in there. The canopies, the drop ceilings, it's the ceiling draping. It's a lot in there. It's a lot. And I stand behind my product, which is why my product is a valuable course, because it has so much. It has so much in there. And yeah, so that really came from, because that's what I kept hearing, what you guys needed and what you guys are keep getting requested for. So I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, you gotta do it. Man, Cindy, I mean, it's a lot of work. Honestly, I think where the overwhelm come in is when people do it wrong, and they get to seeing their stuff blowing around and falling down. So many people, students or potential clients, that came to me saying like, wow, if soon I put it up, it fell down. And I totally get it. And which is why I had to add it in, because there's so many people, so many people think that draping is just boom, throw it up. Almost everybody that I've had come through class was like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. And almost everybody say, I see why it costs so much. It's a lot of work, and you have to get charged. You have to get paid your work, right? It's a lot of work. And if the regular mojo could do it, the regular mojo would be. No, the way that you guys invest in yourselves and learn skill set and technicals, that is why you're able to do what you do, is because you have the knowledge or the skill set that the average mojo don't have, period. Even if self-taught, I was started out as self-taught. I thought I was a bad mamma jamma. I'm a MacGyver, do-it-yourself person. But to achieve the kind of look that I was going for, I couldn't get. I couldn't get it, baby. I couldn't get it. Right, Tamika, come on, baby. I'm trying to tell you, draping life will never be the same. It will never be the same. Not even just weigh it down, Eric. It's so many people think, oh yeah, just weigh it down, throw this on that. It's a little more than that. It's a little more than that. Dealing with your fabric, and it's a little more than that. Just so you can walk away and feel confident, knowing no matter what happened, you're not gonna get the call like, oh my God, it blew down, or like that's the worst. Oh my God, that's the worst. So it's a little more to that, other than just weighing it down. But yeah, like it's definitely doable. It's definitely doable, even to withstand. Well, I'm not gonna say a hurricane. Nobody gonna do that, but it's doable, right? So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I came, I saw. I don't know what the rest of it is, but that's it for tonight. So join me next week on Partial Late Night Biz. I'm not sure. I know it's the next one we're talking about to close out this month is chandeliers and uplights, right? And guys, the uplights one, woo, child. Now I've been using uplights ever since I've been draping, right? But y'all know me, I gotta stay up on the new times and the new things that's happening. So I'll go and feature some products, and I was like, this thing, because I don't really drape. I don't know why I've been draping so much lately. I don't know, but I don't really drape like that anymore. I teach. So I thought this was like super dope, because a lot of you guys everybody don't invest in flame retardant fabric, right? And I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and say all of my fabric is flame retardant because it's not. So I get it. So the goal was to really find, y'all know I like it simple, baby. I like it simple. The goal was to really find, I ain't even gonna tell y'all, you just gotta be here for the uplight segment because this is some slick stuff. Technology is a beast. I'm trying to, and not only when technology is amazing, but when it ain't super duper expensive, that's like that's a double win, ain't it? That's a double win. Give me a heart or something. Give me an emoji for a double win, baby. When I found this product, I was like, that's only you, Lord. Guys, I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes them uplights get on your nerves because the cords be so short, and it just get on your nerves. And then sometimes super duper hot, but I'm trying to think if that blog dropped yet. I don't think it did. So just meet me, I believe it's next week, for the uplight segment. And I'm telling you guys, and it's not my product, so I don't think I'm plugging a product, but it's something that I know. Thank you, Addie. I came, I saw, I conquered. Hello. But this is something that I know that you guys would absolutely benefit from. For one, it gives out it's just simple. It's simple to use and it's not super duper expensive, right? It's not super duper expensive. So that's really what it's all about. So I can't wait to feature this product for you guys next week. And I'm gonna show y'all a couple of different ones. And only thing I'm gonna say is I don't know because of these lights if you'll be able to see the true output, but you'll at least be able to see how they work. And this one is like super duper new, and I love how it works. So that is all I have for tonight, guys. I want to thank you all for being on here with me. Not only that, but even staying on here with me. If you know someone that would benefit from this video, simply share it. It really helps out the channel. It really helps out your community. Like, you never know, a lot of you guys, colleagues, and or your friends, right? Y'all in the same industry. You never know who it will help. All you gotta do is hit one little button, boop, because it really helps the channel. That's if you're on YouTube. Even if you're on Facebook, just share it because you never know who don't know what other Tiebacks to use. Pretty much. Not only that, we are rolling out the new schedule. We are kind of, slow feeding it a little bit. So the next masterclass is November the 14th here in Atlanta. Live hands-on masterclass. It's a group. It's not a private. So as of now, I'm done. I'm fully booked for private sessions until the remainder of 2020. Not to mention, depending on how next year go, private sessions won't even be an option anymore if we could throw the tour back on. So the private sessions honestly only was to serve those that was already registered for, for the tour, or for those that just really wanted to take advantage of a session. So now, next Draping Masterclass is November the 14th. I do believe we had Miss Priscilla that just took one of the last spots, and maybe just two, because we only opened it up to 3 more spots because it was full. So if you are trying to learn how to drape in a premium way, also demand a premium price, this is one of the classes you need to be in. No, don't ask me about another location right now because it's in the wash. I don't know how it's going to come out, but the next one we are headed to is pretty much like the same tour, the same schedule, because it was a route. So we pretty much just, it's crazy times out there. It's crazy. So we pretty much just kind of taking it slow, saying how things develop, saying what happens, saying if we get this second shutdown or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But the sooner I know, you guys will know, right? So I right now, Texas, all those locations are on the books. Texas, New York, Baltimore, Alabama, Charlotte, LA, New Orleans. This is I don't know, but it was 12 cities. So we are definitely still coming. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. So right now, the only one that's actually scheduled and on the books is right here in Atlanta on November the 14th. So if you're looking to enroll, this is your time. You only have to pay your deposit, which is $350, and it secures your spot until you actually come to the class. So if that's something that you guys are looking to do, you definitely can do that here. And I'm gonna put it up because I believe it's only 2 slots left. I believe. Yeah. And then we're gonna play it by ear for moving forward as far as other locations, right? But don't wait. All I can tell you is don't wait, because we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. And I really like the group setting because it's more I don't know, it's more structured. You know, you had the camaraderie of, you know, the members that's in your same class. And it's just, I just like it. It's super dope. It's super dope. So all I want, thank you, Addie. I surely will. I surely will. Right. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Ramona. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Wait a minute. One more question. Ramona, baby. When they came, I mean, the battery operated ones are amazing. I'm not gonna say they're not, but for your average draper, they may be a little expensive, right? A little bit, but they dope. They super dope. I like them because I hate cords, right? I hate cords. So see me, you guys come in next week. Thank you, Cindy. I love you back, baby. And if you guys have any questions, y'all know how to find me. I'm always around, even when you don't see me. I'm always around, baby. I'm in your dream, like. Bye, guys. Have an amazing night. Love you guys. See you next week.